Welcome to a brighter morning. This is 8 News Now with Kirsten Joyce, Sherry Swensk, and Brian Loftus.
And a good Tuesday morning to you. Thank you for waking up with us. I'm Kirsten Joyce.
And I'm Patrick Walker, filling in for Brian Loftus. We're creeping up to 6:30 now. We're off to a wet start this Tuesday, and that can make for some wet roads. We have team coverage for you this morning on the rain.
Of course, we've got Sherry, who's watching the radar to see if this storm will bring us more. Demetria keeping an eye on the wet roads. And Karen outside with some tips on how to stay safe during your morning commute. Let's get started with Sherry right away. Hi there.
Hi there. Well, the radar very active in the overnight hours, bringing us some very plentiful rain. Oh my goodness, we had some neighborhoods that scored over 1/4 of an inch since late after yesterday afternoon, and that is much needed rainfall for us. The rain stretches from the desert all the way out to the west coast to the Pacific Ocean, but the system is winding down now and coming to an end for us. Beautiful cloud cover out there though as we look out this morning. It's very damp, high humidity, 51 degrees right now, 89% humidity, and we'll keep a lot of the cloud cover around. Very light as far as the winds go, so that's probably a good thing. Let's see how we've done. In the last 24 hours now, National Weather Service, about 2/10 of an inch of rain officially for us, but we've had neighborhoods even up to 1/3 of an inch of rain. So for the month of January, we've already got 2/3 of an inch, and that's a surplus of over 2/10 of an inch of rain. Boy, we need that. We like starting out ahead instead of behind. All right, so we've got some spotty morning showers out there, and then some partly cloudy skies with highs in the mid-60s. So how are the roads doing? That's what's really important this morning. We need to get out to Karen Castro, who's out in the thick of it, to see how the roads are shaping up. Good morning, Karen.
Good morning, Sherry. Well, a number of car crashes have been reported around town. One actually happened not too far from where we're standing right now along I-15 at Spring Mountain. That's also where NDOT is dealing with some excessive oil on the roads, which typically happens after a rainy day, creating some slippery conditions for drivers. That's why we've heard police say time and time again, they want drivers to slow down, especially on a wet day like today. Right now, again, roads still wet, still slippery, and will probably remain that way the rest of the day with a slight chance of showers later this morning. Now, overnight, some neighborhoods got about 1/4 inch of rain, and that was enough to damp roads around town. And it's not often we get rain here in the valley, but when we do, police stay busy responding to weather-related car crashes. And now we are keeping a close eye on the roads for you this morning, and despite a few fender benders, no deadly accidents have been reported so far. And law enforcement and transportation agencies have information on their websites on driving safely in wet weather. Now, here are some from NDOT. Reduced speed. Drivers can still be pulled over for going the speed limit during rainy days. Don't slam on your brakes. Remember, roads are slippery, and braking hard may not give the driver behind you enough time to stop. And also buckle up. It's for your own safety, and it's also the law. And don't forget to make sure your wipers are working properly this morning. It's also Nevada law to use wipers when it's raining. For a complete list, we have that all for you on 8newsnow.com, as well as in our app. Just use the keyword rain. Now let's check with Demetria to see how the rest of your commute is looking. Hey there, good morning.
Hey there, good morning to you, Karen. So this has been the biggest problem all morning. We're looking at northbound I-15 at Spring Mountain. The off-ramp still shut down. Ken is actually over the scene, and he's going to give us that aerial view of exactly what's happening, but you see the delays building. That's not true for all areas of town, though. The South Beltway's remained clear completely. Westbound lanes moving away. Eastbound 215 heading right at you. Surface streets crashes have been mostly property damage incidents, so they're not really clogged up this morning, but still wet, as Karen mentioned. And if you do have kids walking to the bus stop this morning, the sidewalks can be slick too. Here's the North Beltway here, nothing but green. And if you're heading down southbound 95 coming in from the northwest part of the valley, you're really not going to run into any tie-ups. And Summerlin Parkway also looking clear this morning. Now, as I said, let's send things up to Ken for the latest update on I-15 and Spring Mountain.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it is a slippery mess, and NDOT decided to shut down the ramp. It's been shut down for a while. This is going to be on the Spring Mountain off-ramp from the northbound side of Interstate 15. They laid down what I like to describe as a bunch of kitty litter. It's actually a solution that actually absorbs all the oil in the roadway, but for about 400 or 500 feet or so, they've actually laid down a bunch of this absorbo stuff to try to get the oil that's been collecting on the roadway off the roadway so they can reopen the ramp. Meanwhile, some road work has been going on here along Interstate 15 on the northbound northbound side of Interstate 15, the exact same area. They've been doing some center divider work, if you will, which actually some of these concrete walls, they've been actually installing those during the overnight hours. So the bottom line is we got the right-hand lanes closed, we got the Spring Mountain off-ramp from northbound I-15 closed, and it's causing some unusual delays here on northbound I-15 coming up from just approaching Flamingo, heading to Spring Mountain. You might want to avoid this area. That'll cost you an extra 5 minutes or so. It is a bit slick out here in some parts of the valley as the roadways slowly start to dry out. Patrick, we'll send it back to you.
All right, Ken, looks like a mess out there. Thank you very much.